The most celebrated floor crossing of recent parliamentary times is that of Belinda Stronach to Paul Martin's then minority Liberal government. By way of setting, Martin's Liberals were then hanging on to power by their partisan fingernails, one of those every vote counts moments. Ms. Stronach had, not so long before, been seeking the very leadership of the party that now she was about to disown. Mr. Martin, Ms. Stronach by his side, began that press conference that famous morning with a zinger for the ages. "This is not about politics," he declaimed, following which the press gallery was hit with a wave of giggles and laughter, and the ghost of Stephen Leacock swiveled in its grave with the kind of envy that only one master humorist can have for another. For this is the first law of politics. In politics, it is always about politics. And the second law is that it is never more about politics than when politicians say it is not about politics. Now, when Justin Trudeau brought Eve Adams to a full court press conference this week, he didn't quite scale the heights of whimsy that Paul Martin did. Nonetheless, he spoke of Ms. Adams in terms, how impressed he was, that wouldn't have been out of place on a plaque for Mother Teresa or in commendations for a Medal of Valor. Ms. Adams, for her part, skipping over the fact that up until that very morning, she'd been a Conservative for decades and a Stephen Harper loyalist for years, was in full conversion mode. Much deep inner searching had taught her that Mr. Harper was mean-spirited and controlling. Unlike Mr. Trudeau, whom she now recognized after equal introspection was, by contrast, kind, generous, and strong. Out of such long nights of the soul are movies of the week made. The move was not, however, universally welcomed. One Ontario legislator, Mike Cowell, carefully rationed his enthusiasm for the transition. He called it preposterous, noted that you don't buy Liberal values at a convenience store, and that she would only win a Liberal nomination over his dead body. More of an exorcism than an embrace. All of which convinces me that the Eve Adams defection is not really a game changer. The Liberals, by their high-value press conference, signaled it might be. Actually, the real blow to the Tories came not from Eve Adams this week, but from John Baird, who stepped out of politics completely last week. That was the loss for the Conservatives. Now, if John Baird had crossed the floor, then the dramatics attending Eve Adams this week and the florid welcome offered by Mr. Trudeau would have had a worthy object. It would still have been politics. It always is. But politics with real impact. For The National, I'm Rex Murphy.